Not Sold Separately is brought to you by Brooke
and Erika, two inseparable 20-somethings who haven't run out of things to talk about since 2001.
From little girls playing dress up to successful little sales reps, these two are ready to dish on dating,
Or lack thereof.
positivity,
Well, we try.
travel diaries,
Not without horror stories.
hot topics,
With hot takes.
and crawling up the corporate ladder.
Whether it's briefcases and stilettos or sweats and sneaks, this duo is sure to entertain,
We are here to remind you to take risks
build confidence,
and have fun because
it's just not that serious.
Hello there.
Hi!
Welcome back.
How we doing?
How y'all doing?
Hi, how y'all doing?
We're giggly today.
The NSS squad.
NSS. Stay tuned for the merch.
In case you didn't know what NSS stands for.
It's
The Not Sold Separately podcast. We're so happy that you're joining us again. We hope.
We're so happy to be
If it's
here.
your first time tuning in,
Oh my God.
welcome. We're happy to have you.
You know what? We've been feeling really inspired lately by none other than Mel Robbins.
Melly.
Honestly, I listened to her for like 0.1 second and my life was immediately changed.
Yeah.
But she's been inspiring us.
I can't tell if she's completely original, totally unique, and never been done, or if she's completely ripping off every other psychologist in the history of ever and just taking bits and pieces from them and then crafting it in a way that sounds brand new.
You know what? I will say I have listened to like her podcast specifically. I don't know how she is with the guests, or I mean when she's a guest on someone else's pod, but she does give credit where credit's due. Like I listened to her episode about six steps to like achieve your goals, and two of the steps she's like, yeah, I got this from my friend so and so who actually wrote Atomic Habits, which
You got it. It's on my vision board this year to read.
yes, Atomic Habits.
Please don't get it twisted. This is a Mel Robbins stan account.
Yeah, like
we
honestly,
adore her.
I'm about to get those glasses because they're so damn cute on her.
Honestly, her voice to me, like it's like one of those things. I don't
It's
even
like
know how to describe.
hypnosis almost.
I was just gonna say, when I hear the voice, it like immediately triggers. There's also that other, like I want to say motivational speaker, like it's on TikTok, and when you hear the audios, every time they come on, I'm like, it's that same sound, it's that same
Yes.
voice, and it just
it's
triggers
so-
something in my like frontal lobe.
It's weird because it's like her voice is so calming, but also so motivating. And like, how can you be
Yes.
both at the same time? I don't know.
Because she's very like, I don't even know how to describe her inflection. Is very like to the point and curt, but
it's also like warm and relatable.
It is.
It's I don't know, Mel. I don't know how you do it, babe.
And that's why they pay her the big bucks.
That's right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But on that note,
Yeah.
we also are certified psychopaths,
Like, what are
not
we certified in?
psychiatrists, psychopaths. But because we're so delusional, we want to clue you in, especially since it's like, we hate to address it, but like happy
Seasonal
Valentine's Day.
Uh,
We must address it as much as
Yeah.
we don't want to.
the elefante in the room.
The elefante, yes. But in terms of motivation plus romance, do a boom clash together
Collab.
to get ways that you can help romanticize your life. And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean like we're not talking about a partnership or, finding a significant other or like any of that bullshit right now, because truly, we're not fucking qualified to tell you jack shit about it.
Go to someone else for that advice.
Yeah, but what we can give you is completely diluted and just far-reaching topics and advice that you can hopefully help apply to your daily life that will make you feel a little bit less depressed.
Listen, it's not rocket science. We're not experts. We're just telling you what we do.
We're not reinventing the wheel.
No,
here.
no. This is just some things that we do or that we want to do to make our day-to-day a little bit happier and a little bit more sexy.
I like hate that you just use that word, but it's so
It's true.
because, you have to find excitement in the mundane activities because every day is not going to be traveling to a new location and on a flight and on a trip and doing some exciting
as much as
adventure.
we love traveling, we do it as much as we can. The reality is the majority of the time we're not traveling. we're working a 9 to 5 and we're
And if I
cooking
were
and
to
we're cleaning.
psychoanalyze our behavior, we're literally planning trips to escape reality in most ways,
Exactly.
which is a ding, 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 red flag, like
Yeah.
on the play, because that
good
definitely indicates that we need to be finding more joy in the day to day.
So that's what we're trying to do. So join us as
Come
we
along.
explore this topic of romanticizing your life. So, one
start.
thing that I have been really, really internalizing ever since we did our vision boards is the saying, and I've referenced this before, I'm sure, because I keep saying it every freaking day.
Hey, get it drilled in.
I seriously am. I have to do this. Crossed out. I get to do this. And I seriously am repeating it to myself every single day. When I find myself complaining about something, I'm like, no, 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 no. There's many people in this world that can't do this right now. There's many people that are unemployed and can't work right now. I'm lucky that I get to do this job. This job I once dreamed of. I get to do it now. Those mindset shifts, I think, are the first key to romanticizing your life.
Yeah, it's the first unlock, because if you can start to reframe your mindset in a way that, again, there's going to be things that you just hate to do. And it's just a stupid task like unloading the dishwasher or getting up to that 5 a.m. alarm or whatever it may be, right, that you don't like to do.
Right.
But if you can find some type of, I don't want to say joy because that's not even really the right word, but if you can find some type of gratitude for that thing that you're doing, it will completely transform your perspective on everything that you do. It will transcend all areas of your life.
Yep.
Because again, to Brooke's point, if you reflect back, I guarantee that where you're at now in your life, if you're not just a fucking sit on the couch, lazy couch potato, do nothing, just useless piece of shit.
And don't get us wrong, we are couch potatoes. Sometimes.
Fair. But we're not useless pieces of shit.
No, we're not.
And you might be right now. But most of you,
no,
I'm assuming you're not.
You're fine.
That you probably dreamed or aspired to be in a similar, I will say, if not exactly in the position that you are now.
Right.
Don't forget it.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many things that, again, we've talked about this now in several episodes, and the move is already transpired, and like I'm, out of the home, and I've been wanting to get out of the home for so long and be in my own place. But with that's coming all of these expenses and all of these responsibilities and a lot of stress. And we talk about it all the time. Like, things don't get easier. They get more complex as you get older and take on more. But how lucky am I that I get to do those things?
Yeah. Well, it's like,
this is the starting point.
How long did you talk about moving to Tampa specifically?
Yeah.
Beyond how long you've been talking about, having your own place. Beyond how long you've been talking about the job that you have right now. The college that you went to, right? You think back to,
the dance team, everything.
When we were, 5 years old.
You built it brick by brick, whether you realize it or not. But to that extent, if you sit and you manifest in the opposite direction, your life is going to reflect it. So if you're thinking about the negatives, that's what you're going to see in your reality, right? But if you're thinking about the positives, if you're working towards, I actually just saw another thing over the last week on social media, specifically TikTok, where it was that audio, and it was saying, like, instead of saying these specific manifestations, like, I'm going to be a billionaire. Because you can have doubt about that. You can sit here and say, I'm going to be a millionaire, but there's resistance inherently in that statement. So whenever you feel like you're manifesting something or you want something and it feels like too specific and you're feeling resistance to it as you're saying it or thinking it or writing it down, try to generalize it more, such as, I have unlimited potential that I can unlock, or I know that I am amazing and I'm a really hardworking individual. Those are things that you know about yourself.
Yeah.
There's no resistance to that.
And that's
those things.
That's a good place to start. If you're stuck in a rut right now, because listen, we've all been there.
100%.
If you're in that rut and you're like, oh my God, every day I'm miserable. I hate my job. I hate where I live.
Whatever it is.
All the things. We see you. We understand you. But the first thing you need to do to start to shift your mindset is look for the positives. look for the good. Pick one thing out of every single day and write it down. That was good.
Thank
that
you,
you're
more,
grateful
please.
for. Yep. I honestly
Stop.
was in such a rut in college, like when it was all the COVID stuff, and I was just stuck in my apartment 2x2.
Woe is me.
Like, yeah. And you know what? I sat down and I did my little bullet journal. I used to love doing that. I don't really do it anymore because I don't really have time. But it's a great creative outlet. And I made a page for myself that every single month I would go back and write down the one thing that I was grateful for that day. And not only did it allow me to, even if I didn't do it every day, whatever, you catch up eventually.
But you paid attention to the things that were positive.
And because it was all on one page, every time I was going to write down something that I was grateful for, I was seeing all the other things that I was grateful for in the month. And I don't know, it took me a while. Like, I was doing that for months on months on months. But eventually, like, it just became natural. And now I truly feel that I have so much more of a positive outlook on life. And I really used to not. I was a Debbie Downer for a while.
Yeah.
It takes effort. But once you get there, your mind rewires.
It becomes subconscious. It's not an active, like, forced activity. It becomes very natural and, just regular practice.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So speaking of the bullet journal, that reminds me of my next tip that I had in mind to share with you guys, which is doing something creative. It sounds silly, right? Because when you're like a little kid and, let's do a coloring book or whatever. But you know what? It's an easy way to enjoy your time and not just rot on the couch. As much as we love it, like, it's something different. It's something that's, using your brain in a different way than you normally do.
If you work a 9 to 5 specifically, and you do not have another outlet of creativity, a hobby, a class, something that you're doing post the 9 to 5, if all you're doing is rotting on the couch after, which again, fine every once in a while, fine some days of the week.
Yeah.
But if you don't have something to look forward to, or like just something else on the docket, like, bitch, get a hobby. You need a hobby.
You need a hobby.
And I hate when people ask me that. Do you have a hobby? Like, go fuck yourself left, right, center. No, I don't have a hobby. I don't have time for that. But seriously, sit with yourself for a moment and think about that, because it doesn't have to be like, I need to become a knitter. Like, you just need to think of something practical, like the bullet journal or like paint by number. I know you liked that for a while.
And you know what? I will say, I love doing that. But it is a commitment, right? You have to get the paint out. You like it's a whole process.
Yeah.
So now that I'm an iPad kid, I
color on the iPad.
I do color by number on the iPad. And it gives me that same feeling of, it calms me down, and it's like a creative thing, but there's not the mess, and it's just easier. There's less barriers to entry, right? Excuse my business phrasing, but it's just stuck with me.
It's less of a, like, doesn't feel as daunting to tackle, and feels just more natural. And I will say, you kind of touched on it, but a big tip that I've seen and I want to convey to you is, think about hobbies or things that you enjoyed as a child.
Right.
It sounds really weird, but like, seriously think about that for a second.
Yep.
And if you kind of go back to that and think about things that you enjoyed doing, like, I loved
so
drawing
true.
specifically.
Yeah.
Like, actually drawing pencil to paper, not like coloring. I loved it. And actually, like, my grandfather was an artist and he was like really good at drawing. My dad's really good at drawing. Like, it kind of runs in the family, and I just like have lost touch of that for so many years. I really need to.
You should.
I really need to.
Even just do it once a week.
Yeah. I need to incorporate it into the schedule. So, pro tip right now, actually number 1 tip is get a hobby.
Yeah.
Do
and
something
again,
that you
we're
love.
not reinventing the wheel. We're not throwing pottery. We're not like
don't get the kiln out. Kiln?
Yep, you're right. Kiln. What else is read a book, for Pete's sake. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a stack of books that I'm waiting to read, but just something as simple as, instead of watching, I'm going to watch my show for 2 hours or an hour, and then I'm actually going to read a chapter in my book. And then I'm going to go to bed.
And I think that this is a perfect segue, to be honest, because we can kind of elaborate more here, is, again, the 9 to 5 life, if you're familiar with it, if you do it, or if you just work a job that has regular hours that are, either in an office or at a location where you're like, I got to get home and decompress and I'm tired and I don't want to do anything. You got to incorporate fun on weekdays.
Oh my God. Shout out Jenna Palick. You
Yes.
honestly changed
Giving
our
credit
life.
where credit is due. You're an icon.
Yeah.
You're a legend.
I mean, how many years was that? At least 2 years ago.
More than that now. I think she's been doing it for
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 years, and she's my age. I know we're the
Yes.
same, like we graduated college at the same time, so
Yep.
we're similar age, but she's based out of Austin, Texas now. She's originally from, I want to say like the Midwest, like Ohio. I think she went to school
something
in
like
Ohio.
that.
But she like just started up when she had moved to Texas. I think she was looking to like, she was a social media content creator, but not at first. She was,
Yeah.
but she was working for TikTok, and then she just kind of like blew up because she started this trend of like establishing fun on weekdays for yourself, meaning scheduling activities or doing something for yourself on a weeknight that, yeah, it's like, ugh, I'm tired. I don't really want to do anything, but it will completely, that is the definition of romanticizing your life in a
Yep.
way, that you're creating these mundane time frames that you would normally be rotting on the couch doing nothing productive, that you can do something fun.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We were so caught up in this, like, well, we're working during the week and then we'll plan stuff to do on the weekends. But then you're jam packing your weekends and then you're just exhausted the entire week long. You're exhausted on the weekdays
Recovering.
and
It's
the
a cycle.
weekends. Yeah. So when she came out with that, we were so inspired. So we did. We regularly would schedule things on weekdays. We would start out with just like dinners or like,
Then we
let's
were
hang
going
out
to
and
like
watch a
live
movie.
podcast shows on Thursday nights at like 10
Yeah.
p.m., which wouldn't recommend.
No,
but
I wouldn't go that far. But
yeah, we made it a thing.
just the point, we've loved it, we've enjoyed it, so I recommend it to anyone and everyone. And you know what, speaking of fun things to do on the weekdays, I said like watch a movie,
Yeah.
go to the movies.
Yes.
Better yet, typically, and again, I'm not all knowing unfortunately, but pretty much everywhere that I've gone to a movie theater on a Tuesday, there's some sort of discount.
Discounted tickets, yes.
So check out your local movie theater on a Tuesday, and I bet you'll see a discount on there.
It might be a different day of the week too. Like just check.
Yeah.
Check Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Wednesday,
Thursday, and see what might be available to you in your local area.
Yeah. So, just rot on a different couch.
Exactly. Rot in a different kind of chair, not in your home.
Exactly.
Makes you feel better.
Exactly.
But yeah, and I think too, like for me now that I'm in this era of like being by myself and trying to navigate, like I can't just rot in the home. Like I need to get out and do stuff because
Right.
I'm going to become
A mushroom.
I am already like everyone makes fun of me because I like to like work in the dark and like sit in the dark. It's very bizarre.
Well, at least you know what? You're in the sunshine state now, so you need to
yeah.
soak up the sun. Gotta
Here
tell
comes the
everyone
Oh, we're singing
to-
different songs.
Yeah, I said soak up the sun.
Sorry. I was
That's a different
singing
song.
Here Comes the Sun.
Well, we love the Beatles.
We know them, we love them. Now, I would say,
Speaking
yeah.
of the Beatles,
Oh,
another thing that you should do to romanticize your life
tell me.
is add a soundtrack to your life.
Do-do-do-do.
And what I mean by this is put on music for the mundane tasks that you're doing. Put on some jazz while you're
have to
working.
curate the vibes. Like,
Yeah.
romanticizing your life is about, like, it equals curating the vibes. And whatever those vibes are to you, they have to be synonymous, right? They have to
Right.
be syncopated. They have to be in unison. So if that means, like, you're cooking dinner, and instead of just like, oh, I have to cut this chicken, and I have to take the fucking fat off, and then I have to put it in the pan, and then I gotta
Disgusting. I'm
bake
gonna
it.
barf.
Like, you won't catch me doing any of the above because chicken skeeves me out. Raise your hand if chicken, literally, you cannot touch raw chicken because it skeeves you into oblivion.
It's
Say
very
aye.
disturbing.
Very disturbing. Other meats, fine with handling the other meats. That meat in particular, don't clip this.
It's the fat. It's the fat.
But yeah, no, it's like those tender.
I know. Yeah. Let's move on. So anyway,
Sorry to our vegetarian folk.
trigger warning.
Yeah, literally trigger warning. But put on or curate a playlist that can kind of cultivate a better vibe to make the cooking experience more fun and enjoyable and intentional versus just, ugh, I have to cook dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to. I get to.
Exactly.
Ding, 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 ding,
Exactly. There's my family. We always say, "There's kids starving and taking yaki."
Pardon? Come again?
Yeah, no, I don't think it exists. But it's just always something that they would say of like, there's always someone that's worse off than you. There's people who don't probably have food for dinner tonight. And, you know, you're complaining about having cube steak, which, sorry, mom, trigger. But, you know, you get to cook dinner for yourself. But yeah.
You're allowed to have your moments. Don't get us wrong. But like, seriously, you have to think of the bigger picture here and get a fucking clue and realize that nothing is that terrible. And you can always make it better.
You can.
And adding a soundtrack is a great way to do it.
Honestly, music soothes the soul. So, but also like creating your own playlist is great. But if you don't have the time for that, I guarantee you search anything in your heart's desire and there's a playlist for it.
You know what Erica's heart's desire is? 2016 top rap hits.
Yeah.
That will literally turn any frown upside down.
You know, I've been really on a Justin Bieber kick lately.
Wait. I must ask you this question because it was very thought-provoking, intellectual, and highbrow.
Okay.
How much money would you pay if Justin Bieber went on his version of an Eras tour? How much would you pay for an individual ticket if Justin Bieber went on his version of an Eras tour?
I feel like I would pay $300.
That's low.
But you can get a ticket for $300.
Yeah, in the fucking skyscraper.
Okay, maybe $500.
I was gonna say between $500 and $600 would probably be like where I'd max out.
Yeah,
but very much.
Yeah, no,
worth the trip.
I said this. I feel like I said this to you like a couple months ago.
That's why it triggered.
But
me.
I was like, I need to go to the next JB tour, and I don't. I mean,
rum pum 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 pum.
Down with drum, yeah, with stand drum.
Steel drum, not stand drum.
I don't really care.
I don't think we know the words.
My words are my words, and I feel them in my soul.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway,
like
JB,
make it up as you go.
Speaks to my soul. I love him. No, I actually I wasn't like a believer. Like I wasn't.
Me neither.
I wasn't attracted to JB.
We weren't obsessive really about any bands or artists.
We were very
indifferent.
We're
in the minority there because we were not like put on a One Direction song. Fine. I wasn't obsessed with anyone.
Nope.
I don't have obsessive tendencies.
Says we're diverse. We like a little bit of everything.
We do.
We do.
We really do.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah.
Hey. Throw on some JB while you're cooking up your fucking cube steak and call it a day. Right? Exactly. I think that can really help solve a lot of your problems mentally.
So another thing you should do to romanticize your life is spice up your calendar.
Make it spicy. Interpret that however you may.
So the way that I'm going to guide you to interpret this, it's stressful, right? Your calendar is usually a stressful place. Someone asks you to do something. You're looking at the gridlock that is your calendar. As I say all the time, I'm a slave to the calendar. And you're like, how do I fit this person in? Or how do I make this appointment? You know the drill.
Making a doctor's appointment?
We admin?
have put that off minimum like 8 months for some of our appointments that we have.
Maximum going on 2 years. Like 10. Not even lying. Like
I won't even look.
The clock is still counting.
I won't look at my blood work follow-up from like 2 months ago because of the fact that I know that there's going to be follow-up to that because it's probably going to say, you're actually about to keel. Over. Go get checked out.
Oh,
and I refuse. I don't want the admin or the follow-up. But
I know.
Again, let's romanticize making doctor's appointments. Go get a little coffee on the way. Maybe go get lunch after.
I totally agree with that.
Event. Make it an excursion.
I love an excursion.
So?
Stop at TJ Maxx.
Stop. And dare I say, treat yourself.
Treat yourself. That is the bottom line.
That is the bottom line.
But as far as the calendar goes.
Yes, let's
What
discuss.
I mean by spice it up is like get one that's pretty to look at.
Oh, you mean the physical calendar?
No, the physical calendar. It's the least you can do.
I thought you meant add spice into the calendar.
I mean, that, yes, fun on weekdays, all those things, right? Like, do that metaphorically and physically. So,
understood.
I have a love affair with my daily planner.
Okay.
Erika knows this. I talk about it all the time. I'm obsessed with her. It's the Day Designer. It's an actual Jumbotron. Like, it's a binder. Like, it's gigantor.
Yeah, she's thick.
There's a page for every single day. I have time slots. I have checklists for every single day. However, I will say the best part, arguably, is there's a daily quote every day. And I love that because it just, you resonate with it and it puts
it
things
sets
in
the tone for the
perspective. It's like,
day.
yeah, I'm staring at my to-do list and that sucks.
Yeah.
And I have this meeting at 1:00 and I don't want to go. But there's something to distract me, and that's a little quote, and it's like a little motivation or a little perspective. So that's number one.
I actually hate those types of fucking planners so much. Like they make me feel very confined. They make me feel very like, well, what if I need more space for the notes section and not for the fucking to-do list? Like, don't fucking confine me to these specific squares and rectangles. Like, I need, because I write all over a page. My brain is working differently. So
here's the thing. If we're really going to get into this right now, I have 2 notebooks. I have my notebook for my crazy
chicken scratch,
my crazy, notes and like when I'm on a call or whatever. And then I have my to-do list. So that's where I need the structure in the to-do list, because also, like, again, people probably use like Google Calendar to like do their tasks and stuff, but I'm a pen and paper person. I need to write it down. If I don't finish it from the day before, I need to physically move it over with my pen to the next day. So, like, that's just me.
I'm an Outlook calendar girly, and so with that, I create time slots on the calendar for to-dos specifically.
Which is lovely.
You know what? I'll say during this hour, I need to get done ding, 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 and if I don't get that done, then I'm going to have to create a new calendar block that incorporates the ding, 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 or whatever, the ding, ding, or the ding, whatever it is.
The ding dong ditch. I'm going to ditch that. No, but for you folk, I would say, I don't really know if there's a feature like this.
I'm a color coding fiend.
That's what I was going to say. Color code it.
I'm a color coding fiend. My calendar looks like the rainbow over the yellow brick road.
Yeah.
At the end of the... Wait, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
You're done.
Still waiting on the record deal.
Yeah. Anyone? Like... podcast agencies, production. Can we get production? Someone? All right. But yeah, so definitely spicing up the calendar, but also incorporating things into the actual schedule that like spice it up, right? So, you'll have your workout classes and you'll meet up with your friend for drinks, girls' night out, whatever it is. But like, do other fun things that you don't normally do. Like something that's like I really want to get involved in that I think will also help me meet people. Because if you're like new to an area or you're trying to make friends, I want to join like some type of book club. I'm like,
oh, that'd be fun.
So want to do that. I don't know the path to accomplish that yet, but even so, maybe I'll be a trailblazer and I can start one in my apartment complex.
Go off, queen.
That would be, again, admin, but it's like romanticizing it because it makes me feel like I have a purpose and something to like look forward to.
Yeah, well, you know what? I feel like that's probably so easy. All you have to do is like send an email out to like the admin people.
There's a whole
have
page
them
on
blast
the app.
it out. Yeah, like it's not that. It won't be that much admin.
Add that to the list.
Yeah,
one more thing to fucking do. But honestly, like so fun and like such a fun way to like, again, trying not to like drink that much like on the weekdays if I can avoid it. Yeah. So like that's a fun activity to do that's like not centered around drinking and alcohol and like going balls to the wall. That still allows you to be social. So that's my goal, is romanticizing but also making things like social in a appropriate and responsible way.
Yeah, well, I think it's also like being intentional with what you're doing.
Intentional.
Because, like, if you're going out to a bar and you just want to meet people that are at a bar, like, you're getting such a mixed bag. Like, you don't know anything about anyone who, like, anyone can be there at any time.
Why are you at a bar at, like, on a Tuesday?
Yeah, like, they're probably on vacation, like, right? So, especially in Florida. So,
yeah.
If you're more intentional of, oh, like, I'm really looking to get into reading. Like, let me go to a bookstore and see if they have a book club, maybe. Like, all these sorts of things. Like, it's just being intentional with your time.
Yeah. Or, like, I know that there's, like, a lot of those Facebook groups where it's, like, join us for walking at these hours of the day. Like, we're going to go in the morning or the night. And it's, like, all these girls that just, like, want to do their hot girl walk. And, like, they go together. So, definitely looking into those things, because not only is it, like, again, fun social activity combined with a good, healthy habit.
Slide of the day.
It's a 2-for-1.
BOGO.
Blowout. Big summer blowout. Woohoo.
Oh, my God.
So,
iconic,
but
iconic.
I think the last area that we want to discuss is, like, we touched on it a little bit, but, like, just treating yourself overall. So, don't, like,
the last
restrict
way,
yourself.
Yeah, don't. The last way to romanticize your life is to treat yourself.
You must.
One thing that I will say.
Yeah.
Is I feel like a good way to do this is get a subscription. I mean, listen.
Yes. I know where you're going.
Everyone's paying for Netflix or Max or Peacock or Hulu, whatever. That's an admin.
That's like, I fear if
subscription.
you don't have those things, like you're disconnected from the world.
Yeah. So the subscription I'm talking about is like, I love the FabFitFun box. You could do the Vivrel, the Newly, like all the clothing ones.
Yep.
You could do a wine subscription, a beauty
I
subscription.
really want to do Newly, where
I
you get like the 4 or 5
know.
pieces a month clothing.
I think you should.
I just feel like instead of wasting money on like fast fashion and trends that I know are going to go in and out really quick in terms of style, like I would rather just pay the $100 a month for the Newly or whatever the subscription is and pick those trendy pieces out and keep my closet as the basics of staples. So, it makes more sense. Like we already are going to like take you through a whole
Deep dive.
of how to build a good capsule wardrobe with basic pieces. But Newly and like all these other services, like it's not the time for that. It's time to like capitalize on the trends.
Right. So we can keep our capsule wardrobe and then just like pop in, try out the trend, right? And if you like it, you can
try out the barrel jean. Try out, these other
Right.
things that like you don't know if they're gonna work, but you have it for a month and then you send it back.
Right.
And if you love it, then you can keep it. You can
Exactly,
actually pay
you
to
can
keep
buy
the
it,
item.
yeah.
So yeah, I really want to do that because I think it actually might be better than me just like throwing hundreds of dollars a month out the fucking door.
Well, I was
like I
gonna
literally
say,
see it and
like-
it goes poof right out the door.
never pass through your hands. It
Literally
didn't
slips to the fingertips,
Yeah.
the money, the cash, because I'm wasting it on this shit every month that I don't need.
Yeah. I feel like, a subscription can't be that much. It's good, maybe $100, right? Like, and realistically,
limit.
in today's like economics,
Yeah.
you could be getting one item for $100. So instead of 100 for one item, you could get 100 for like 5.
But you can
know?
like really just boil this down to even something more simple where it's like you're going to treat yourself to like your
Exactly.
coffee Fridays. I think Eli Rallo talked Rallo, I'm probably saying her
I'm
name
not
wrong,
sure
but
how to
we love
pronounce.
her.
We do.
She has her like
Her book. We went to her
yeah,
book tour.
she's amazing. But one of her concepts or one of her like series on TikTok for a while, I think, and maybe she still ties it in, is like your treat yourself Fridays, where you like do something like get your coffee or like certain
Yeah.
rituals that you incorporate that just really elevate.
I feel like I really need to do that because working from home, again, like I go out sometimes and visit, my customers, but for the most part, I'm locked into working from home every day, and it gets mundane.
The days that I feel the worst are the days that I don't leave the home.
Oh my God, I can go like 3 days and not
Same.
leave the home. Like that's
Because
scary.
it's like nothing brings me out of the home. And it's like no, you need to be getting out.
Especially like, it's not like I live by myself. I live with my family. So someone else is getting the mail. Someone else is taking out the trash. And I'm literally not touching fresh air. That's bad.
Yeah, definition of mushroom.
like actually turning into a fungi.
Yeah,
Like,
we're fun guys. That's all
we're
you need to know.
guys. Yeah, but these are just our take on how to romanticize your life. Everyone's talking about how to be romantic with your significant other. So we're talking about how to get romantic with yourself, okay? Make your daily life sexy. I'm going to say it again.
Make your daily life sexy.
Because
It's just not that serious.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Bye, sexy bitches.
Happy Galentine's.